What's going on, you guys? Chris with Jigs Overboard, and we're back with another Tackle Tuesday. What are we going over today? Well, it's not my great dog Devo here. We're going over baitcasters. So now I can't really spin them all around. I've got them bound up so I don't lose my line and have to re-thread through. But what's a baitcaster reel and how is it different from a spinning reel? Well, the biggest difference between baitcasters and spinning reels is that a baitcaster, the spool moves. Spinning reels, the line revolves around a immobile spool. Goes around the spool, and that's how you keep everything spooled up. But a baitcaster is different. Baitcasters, the spool goes back and forth, and that's what puts line onto the spool. And then when you hit the button and release line, as you can see here, you can see, let me get this close so you guys can see. You guys can see the line coming off of this spool. Click it off, your spool's locked in, reel that line back up without making a mess. So what's the benefits of learning to use a baitcaster? And I do say learn. You can't just pick one of these up and just start casting with it. Well, baitcasters, the way they are I find baitcasters are a little bit better for manipulating artificial lures, especially in bass fishing. It's why, I hate to say it, the baitcaster is king in the bass world where artificials are dominant. In saltwater, live bait is still such a huge thing, but we are seeing more and more baitcasters coming out that are saltwater reels. For example, these two are both made by Penn. This is the Fathom and this is the Squall. Both of these are set up with non-corrosive metals, gears, bearings, and are pretty much sealed up and locked tight for saltwater use. Same with this 13 Fishing Concept C, which is left-handed, because I learned how to fish with spinning reels. I reel left-handed, so for me to get the most out of these baitcasters, I've got to be throwing a left-handed rod. But I do have more right-handed ones than I do left, and it's just something that you have to deal with and you get the hang of it. Now, I'd say you have to learn how to use these, because you do. When you hit this spool and you hit that click and you can feed line out, now you can get where the spool will move faster than line coming out. As you can see, all the line just filling up right here. This is technically a bird's nest. Not a bad one, but it's pretty much what a bird nest looked like, or a backlash. You can get them where they're really bad, where you even have to cut your line to get rid of it. And that's the downside of a baitcaster, is the potential. You have a larger potential for tangles and things like that. You can mess your reel up. But it's outweighed for the simple fact that you can put really heavy line on these things and they operate fine. They're very fast. This is where you find really high-speed reels. This particular reel right here, this Fathom, is, I believe it is an 8 to 1, which means that it does, for one full crank of the reel handle, the spool revolves 8 times, which I think, yeah, it says right here, it's 33 inches. So that's 33 inches per turn. Now, you have slower reels like this right here, this Penn Squall. Penn Squall here is only a 6 to 1, which is just 27 inches per turn. So you can definitely see there is a difference in the speeds of the reels, which goes into the types of lures that you throw, which we can cover in another video. Now, how do you learn to throw a baitcaster? We'll go over that in another video, but the big thing is you just hit the button, keep your thumb on the spool, you make your cast, you lift your thumb, and then right before the lure hits the water, you reapply your thumb, and that will stop the spool. Now, most of these reels now have things to make casting easier, especially for novices. I myself would consider myself a novice on baitcasters. I don't know everything about baitcasters, and I still make use of the braking systems in a baitcaster. And so both of these pins use magnetic brakes, which are adjustable here. You can hear that clicking. That's the magnetic brake. Now you can put it on full, which will, and the magnetic brake just slows the spool down. And so full brake, it's going to really slow it down. It does impact casting distance, but as you get used to it, you let off a little on the brakes, you get used to it, let a little bit more, and eventually you won't need the brake at all. I'm not there yet. And then you have ones like these 13 fishing. These ones use, and I'm going to show you on the Concept C here, which has a little door. We're going to put that up and pop that out. Now, there's a little, get close so you can see, in it there's a little numbers, and there's 6 brakes in there. And the 6 brakes in this one are, I believe they're referred to as centripetal or centrifugal. Whoever knows the right answer to that, drop it down in the comments. But these ones are pretty much brakes just like what's on your car, and they apply direct pressure to the spool, and you can manipulate these. And as you probably could see on here, and I'll show you again, just getting up close, that is maxed out because I'm not very good at baitcasters. But we're gonna go on, we're gonna grow on that, and we're gonna do that together. And so that's bait casting reels. Guys, have any questions or comments, drop them down in the comments. Don't forget to like the video, and please, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out, and it'll help keep these videos coming. Until next time, I'll see you guys overboard.